Yeah, so let's go ahead and check out Death by Platypi. Y'all, the revealing. We'll be right back.
I watched your stream of consciousness as tears streaked across your cheek. Confident we are better off. Such things don't reconstruct reality. If I cared, it'd be perjury. Related to David and the tears on his face. We sat together at his place one dark night. A pseudo-flaming torch reassured us that we were far away from the flame. Crickets screamed on the hill. I imagined them perched high on dead daffodils. He laughed. Shrill is typical. It was night. He went hysterical. And he said right away, none of this is real.
Death by Platypi. They've been on the show quite a few times. You know, their music. And they started out very, very weird, like very not really palatable for most palates, I would say. But they're growing, I think, and it's the one guy, Drucifer
Gomez.
Yes, and he's a bass player and does like lo-fi analog stuff. And you know, when they first started doing their stuff, I mentioned how much I like the sound a lot, but the songs like weren't really quite there. And you know, I think they're just more experimental. I don't think they're going for pop songs or more experimental anyway. But I think it's kind of coming together for me at least, because now there's a little more to grab onto, and they have like some of the best graphics I think that I've seen recently. But you look like you're bored. So what do you want to say, Dave?
I also remember like the first time we played their first song, you know, I think a few years back, and yeah, it was pretty harsh. I mean, there really wasn't much composition to it back then, and there was a lot of like really harsh tones. So there's like no compression, wasn't that much focus on the mix. So yeah, it's it's been a journey, and I mean I appreciate the evolution of it, because you know I wasn't really sure where it's going, but just like you said, yeah, he's into, you know, lo-fi and experimental type of sounds. I mean, this is kind of like a spoken word, you know, a la The Doors. I mean, you can hear kind of The Doors in this as an influence here. But I mean, there's some composition now, you know, like you were saying, there's something to grab onto. I mean, there's somewhat of like a structure, and yeah. Man, you never know. It's like maybe Death by Platypi becomes the most famous band we've ever reviewed on the show in a few years or something.
Yeah, who knows?
We have no idea. I mean, it may catch on somewhere where people are just digging it.
There's a big audience for that kind of sound. It's just underground, you know.
Yeah,
not going to be like playing next to Katy Perry or anything like that. That's for sure.
And I doubt they want to.